Okay, the cleanest the grinding room's ever gonna be. Just rebuilt it. Been here a year. Figured it was about time I started to make it more functional. You know, only built 100 knives in here so far. Anyhow, just built another grinder, so it was time to get to work. This is the new grinder, newest horizontal. All it's gonna do is contact wheel and a platen, nothing else. For when I want small wheels, I've got this other one here, which will take any small wheel down to the 1/8 inch I've made. It's got a platen as well, a little short one. That's actually going to get modified a little bit. They share that controller right there. Real simple to do. Add a switch here, and this switch controls left or right. That should be the right one. Fire it up, and the right side horizontal's running. Really cool little grinder. Tracking's adjusted via knob right here, up and down. Only got a 1-inch one on there. No, I got a 2-inch belt on there right now. Just testing it. This hasn't even ground anything yet. This is a brand new grinder. This is the old one when I want it to run. Toggle the switch the other direction, and now it's running. That's it. Killing. Got my KMG with my Super Duper Deluxe water cooled flat grinder special platen on there. Rubber wheel. I've modified pretty much all my grinders to run on a rubber wheel. They just seem to work better. You can't make them stall. You just can't. And with this, there's so much friction up here from there being no roller there and so much contact with the platen that I could actually stall this out. But now that there's a rubber wheel on there, it's not stalling. No way. So I got the KMG. I've got I haven't even given this grinder a name. This is one of my own creation. It uses all my KMG tooling. That's my KMG 10-inch wheel on there right now. And it works the same way. I've got a toggle here, which switches between left and right grinder. Since I'm a one-man shop, I'm only ever running one, and it's right there, so it makes it very simple, convenient. Tree with my couple of spare arms. I'm actually thinking of building another grinder so I can have that platen on there and selling my hardcore. I've got a hardcore here with the platen on it right now, but it's kind of a pain in the butt to use this platen. If I want to do any arms or tables or anything on it, I've built this little thing, which allows me to bolt things directly on it, but now it's in the way when I want to do stuff like this. Whereas with my new grinder, there's an extra receiver right there, and that extra receiver, I can slide an arm in there and build anything I want to go on there, and of course they could just live in the tree. So this hardcore is probably gonna go away and build another one of my little water jet special here. And like I say, it runs all the KMG stuff. I used a gas spring on it, built the arm here with more leverage, make it a whole lot easier to change belts. But as you can see, I did the same thing with my KMG. I think I had that machine maybe a day. I might have changed that the first day when I got it. No, these lights don't even belong there. I just set them up there, get them out of the way. So the very first thing I did to my KMG was modify that so I could get some leverage for changing out belts. It makes it a whole lot simpler to do that. Bench grinder with a carbide grinding wheel and a Scotch-Brite wheel on it. Harbor Freight special. Hardcore disc grinder. I don't use it really a whole lot. Variable speed, and it's all set up and dialed in, but I don't use a disc grinder a ton. I use it fitting bolsters, and really that's about the only thing I use it for. Leather wheel and a wire wheel on this cool little Porter cable grinder. This is a neat grinder because it's actually variable speed as well. 60 or 70 bucks at Lowe's, and you get variable speed. It doesn't go all the way down to nothing like the others do, but it's probably down into the 1,000 RPM range and then up into the 3,000 range. The old Boyer Schultz 612 with my modified 2x72 belt. I actually mostly run 1-inch belts on it. If I'd have been thinking or had any experience with using belts, I'd have probably made a 1-inch wheel. I'd have to dress it less often. It looks like this is probably going to wear a groove in it. But with a 1-inch wheel, I still get exceptional material removal rates, and I just have to travel less time since it's a manual machine. I get to travel less on the Y before the belt runs off. I only have to, it's 10 extra passes I don't have to take. What else do I got? Press, my heat treat station, my tempering oven. This is a neat little grinder that I got when I first started and didn't know how to sharpen knives. I forget who makes it now. English company. I just can't think of their name at the moment. Catra. It's a Catra Sharp. High dollar little thing. Really neat. Actually uses these CBN or diamond wheels to grind, and it actually grinds equally on both sides. Since they're made like a screw, and one's a right hand and one's a left hand, you actually can grind to the same plane on the right and on the left, so you don't have a bevel that starts further forward on one side than on the other. Pretty neat. I don't use it anymore. I actually learned how to sharpen stuff, so that doesn't get used, so I should probably sell it. Couple of bead blasting cabinets. So far I've been in this shop for a year, and the second one isn't even fired up yet. Bought that when Mikkel and I were doing the Naden project, and we needed different kinds of media. Made it a lot simpler to use different kinds of media, having 2 different cabinets. The dust collector, I haven't figured out what to do about that yet. I'm actually thinking I'm going to build a little shed outside, get a water heater type enclosure and put it in there and plumb it in, so it's not plumbed in at all right now. The only thing I collect dust out of is my blasting cabinet. Door to the outside. See if I can go out there, maybe we can get a better shot of the whole setup. The 2 horizontals, the KMG, my grinder, hardcore in the background, lots of stuff. This is my dirty room, except for this is as clean as it's ever going to be. I don't think it's been this clean since we moved into the place. These are my quench plates. I actually built this contraption here, and it's got 6 quench plates on it. I had to do some machining and make sure everything's parallel, put some rubber spacers in there so that when I clamp everything up, everything stays good and flat, and they do. Now that I have a surface grinder, I could actually really check, and I get everything flat within a thousandth or so, usually better. They're all quick adjust, so you squeeze the trigger, and they slide up and down. You slide it down, tighten it up. By the time I'm done with pulling 6 pieces out of the oven, they're all cool. I can start cutting them out and checking for flatness. Little arbor press. Big grinding belt, 72 by who knows what. I think it was probably started as 72 by 72, but it's been cut down a bit, and every now and then I cut a couple more strips off of it. Got that for cheap from some guy. So there it is. That's my grinding room. Thanks for looking.